Have you been doing with Pete? You guys been going?
So I wanted to tell you, he invited us to come on live during the draft. I figured, but if he hasn't even sent me the link yet, but if you change your mind, let me know.
I'm not around, but that's all right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm probably going to go on. I don't know that I could stay on the whole time because it's so silly how late it ends up going. But
yeah.
I'm going to go on with him for a little while.
Tell him thank you.
I will. There were some other things. I think I told you, like he was talking about like Sunday mornings. They do like a live.
No, you didn't tell me that one.
Like a I don't know, like a preview / predictions, like picks
for the Sunday,
NFL Sundays.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty
cool.
And
then there was something else. I don't know. Maybe that was the other one. Maybe it was the draft night, the first night of draft, and then the Sundays. He invited us for both of those. So, and you don't have to do them. Even if we did them, you don't have to do them every week. Frankly, if it's a week that I don't do it, you could still do it. Like he put the invitation out to both of us, just so you know. Like it's cool.
Very nice. He's a nice guy. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah,
cool dude.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bump and Run. I'm Pete Calisano, joined as always by my good friend, Mr. Scott Bracey. What's going on, dude?
One of our favorite days and weekends of the year, my friend. 2026 draft night. I am good, bro. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I put on my smart person glasses just so when I do make some kind of prediction for a mock draft, it looks like, maybe it won't sound like it, but it'll look like I know what I'm talking about. So, you know, I'm all smart
and draft daddy Calisano over there.
You like that? I'm ready. I was just thinking about how 2 years ago when we did our, we tend to do first 16 picks. We don't go further than that because then at that point, one thing different changes everything moving forward. But how ridiculous it was that we got 13 out of the 16 correct that year. Yeah. We did pretty well last year, but 2 years ago was insane. So we'll see how we do again with this year's. I have a good feeling about it. Obviously once there's trades and all that kind of stuff, everybody's mock draft gets out of whack once trades start happening, but we shall see. But before we get started with that, I don't know if you saw this. I think it happened late last night or late the night before. I can't remember now as we do this on draft night, the night of draft, that Mike Vrabel checked into rehabilitation. Yeah, and his whole thing is really just so bizarre to me. We talked last week about how Rossini loses credibility just as a reporter, not as a human being, although maybe as a human being, but we're talking more as a reporter. From our point of view, we're the personal side of it doesn't affect us. You know what I'm saying? So it's just from a credibility as a journalist. And, I don't know that although Vrabel's credibility looks a little funky from like you're trying to tell these young men how to live their lives on the field. We hear stories all the time about players doing just not great things and having like 5 or 6 baby mamas and nobody cares. And frankly, it's none of my business. So I'm not on here to preach and say that's wrong. And that's why this whole thing now makes even less sense. Number one, there's 2 things here that just don't fit. First of all, the fact that both of these people have come out and said there's nothing to it, they're just friends. And then you're going to rehab. What rehab are you going to? Like, I have too many friends rehab? I'm not sure exactly how those 2 things match. So your story is bullshit. Outside of the professionalism on either of their parts, your story's bullshit. Because if you were just friends, you'd be like, kiss my ass. We're just friends. And that's the end of it. But you're going to rehab. Now, I don't know what you're rehabbing, but it doesn't match with your story.
Well, there's 2 other ones with that too, and then the one Monday where he's on the press conference, or Tuesday, and he goes, "I had to have some tough conversations with my family, my team, my coaches." Well,
why were they so tough?
What's the tough conversation, Mike?
I have a friend. Like, you're full of shit, and one way or another, you're full of shit. And the way they're full of shit is that there was no relationship. There's clearly a relationship. More pictures came out today of them kissing and holding hands
years ago.
New York bar, 2020. It's very strange that her oldest son is named Michael. Now that could be total coincidence, but doesn't look good now.
Does not look good.
But the second part of it for me is like, what exactly is the rehab for? Like, let's
Charlie
just
Sheen.
let's just let's just assume there was a sexual relationship here, completely inappropriate since both of them are married. I get that. What's the rehab for? Are you George Michael? Are you Charlie Sheen? Like you're out of control? Is this happening with dozens, maybe hundreds of women? Because that's what it takes. I don't know what you're rehabbing. Are you just like, you can't stop putting your dick places it doesn't belong? Are you jerking off all the time? Like, what is going on that you need rehabilitation? Like, I get it with Puka Nacua. Puka said some wild shit. I guess I really don't even get it with him either, to be honest with you. But
Tiger Woods, you got it. Tiger Woods, you kind of.
Tiger Woods totally understand. Like, he's got to figure out how to get through life without painkillers.
Territory fucking everywhere too. Like the Perkins waitresses and shit.
Yeah. So that's the part to me. I'm just like, what? What exactly are you rehabbing? Like, you cheated on your wife, and you cheated on your wife with probably for years. All disgusting, no doubt. Rehab
in public.
Yeah, there's a lot of gross. But so my question, because if it's rehab, then has this happened like dozens, if not more than dozens of times? And you just can't control yourself, and that's what you rehab. I just don't. That's the part I'm just like, what are you rehabilitating? Are you just incapable of keeping your dick in your pants? Like, no matter what, if you're just around attractive women, you have to somehow make a move. And because you're Mike Rabel, famous, big time coach, former NFL player, you get it. So now you have to learn how to control yourself. Is that what's going on? Because if it's just one person, I mean, you're sleazy.
Yeah.
But what's the rehab for? That's the part I don't get. It's all just so weird. So.
And fucking Ohio State guys, you just can't let them out.
Whether it's the coaches or the players, bro. It's crazy. Just, they can't be trusted, these sons of bitches. So
I had to throw that in there, you know that.
Yeah, well, of course, because they're all trash, not like the head coach from Michigan from 2 years ago. So.
No, that guy's gone.
Act.
Guy's gone. Guy graduated from there. Fuck him. See ya.
With that said, let's have some fun. Let's do our mock draft. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I tell everybody this ahead of time. Scotty and I don't even know who's picking first. We didn't even decide that yet. I guess we can flip a coin. And I have a little something here that I can flip. Okay. We don't talk about it. We don't pick ahead of time. So this is all on the fly. So with that said, maybe you can also give us a second in between each pick. Because we're researching as we're about to make the pick. We'll make it as quick as we can. We'll do it as quick as we can, but you like to at least look and kind of be somewhat informed. So I'm just going to put to the camera so you can see this will end up being heads. And then there's nothing on this side. All right. So I'll just give it. Do you want heads or tails?
I'll go tails.
Tails. So that would be this side.
Blank side.
And it was heads. Wait. Yeah. It was this. So that's heads. Yeah.
Yep.
You picked the other side. Okay. So I go first, which kind of sucks. Because we pretty much know that the Raiders are going to take Fernando Mendoza, so Mendoza is off the board.
So now, am I giving you? I'm going number 2. I thought you want to go back and forth like 1-1, 2-2. You don't want to do something like that?
No, we'll go every other. We'll go through the. Well, what do you want to do?
Well, I wrote down all 16 picks. I think we could compare. Let's do all 16.
Okay, real quick. Then that sounds fine to me.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like.
I think Mendoza's going 1-2 then.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can mark that down as well.
All right, so the next pick is the Jets, right?
Quarterback, Indiana.
Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. This is more of a no-brainer than even Cam Ward was last year. There were at least some rumors or, hey, maybe somebody would give up 3 first-round picks to move up and get Cam Ward, blah, blah, blah. Didn't happen, but this is as done gets.
Agreed.
The card is already on the way up. Who picks number 2? Jets, right?
I'll start this one. We'll alternate that one back and forth if you want to do that. So then the last guy goes first on the next one.
Yep.
The New York Jets, Peter Calisano's old favorite team. I'm going to go defensive end David Bailey from Texas Tech.
Yeah, so the question right here is, do the Jets aim high or do the Jets aim for the kind of nobody's a no-doubter? But Bailey is the guy who's ready to go now. 14.5 sacks last year for Texas Tech. Arvell Reese is kind of your Micah Parsons wannabe. middle linebacker, really off-ball linebacker who has this unbelievable potential to be a Micah Parsons type player, which anytime I hear that kind of stuff, it makes me very nervous.
Yeah.
I would go with Bailey also. You know, we talked about this last week a little bit. The Baltimore Ravens have been one of the best teams in the last 30 years in drafting. And their philosophy is they would rather hit guaranteed doubles off the wall, pick a guy who's guaranteed to hit a double off the wall, then go for a guy who might hit a home run early in the draft. And I'll take the doubles off the wall all day long. If you get enough guys who hit doubles, you score lots of runs. So we're going to take Bailey off the board on this one as well, which means Arvell Reese for both of us is actually still on the board, which is a big deal.
For the first time in years, I agree with Mangano.
Let's see. Let's post what he sent over here. We got Mike Mangano says.
I don't think it's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to start by saying this draft is the weakest in many years going in. It's weak in the sense of top tier guys.
Yeah, that's agreed.
And the other thing is, be careful what you say about that because there's lots of star power on the defensive side of the ball. The problem is that's just not as sexy as like quarterbacks, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. So we have one nice, really top end running back. But so I get what you're saying, and that may have an effect on viewership of the draft and stuff like that and people's attention. But defensively, this is actually kind of a loaded draft. So it's just not as sexy. And I completely understand that. Next team is
the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah, see, they need help in so many areas. Here, look, I'm going to go to PFF here, and I'm going to go team needs Arizona. And yeah, there's so many directions they could go here. By the way, I love Sonny Styles. I think Sonny Styles may end up being the steal of this draft, but it's just too high to pick an off-ball middle linebacker at number 3. I think, it seems like the consensus is somewhere between, whether it's the guy who isn't picked by the Jets, the end that's not picked by the Jets, or maybe Love. I can't go with taking Love when they just have so many other needs. There's just so many other needs. So I don't know that they can pass up on a guy like Arvell Reese. So for me, I'll go Arvell Reese.
All right. We have our first
disagreement.
What's he, an edge? I guess, right? You put edge for Arvell.
Well, he's kind of listed as linebacker, edge.
I think
he's being sold as an edge.
All right, I'm going to go with the pick that they shouldn't do, but they're going to do because they're the Cardinals, and I'm going to go running back Jeremiah Love.
I love the kid, by the way. I love the player.
Yeah.
Like, tremendous player. I don't necessarily think they're going to be disappointed with him. I'm more concerned, is he going to be able to do what he's capable of because he's playing behind a mediocre to below average offensive line with Jacoby Brissett as quarterback. So that's the part for me that gets
who's coaching there now? Is that the brother of
LaFleur, Mike LaFleur?
Yeah. Thank you.
The guy who got fired by the Jets as offensive coordinator.
And that's why they're going to draft a stupid pick there. They're going to draft
a red flag if there's ever been one.
Yeah, it's seriously.
The Jets didn't even want you.
The Tennessee Titans at 4, sir. I'm going to go linebacker Sonny Styles.
You got to think that Robert Saleh loves the idea of that guy. He's got a very Fred Warner kind of feel to him.
That's my thought exactly, sir.
I don't hate that one at all. Let me just take a quick look here. Oh, man. So what I'm huffing and puffing about is I'm thinking I think this would have been a great spot for Jeremiah Love if he didn't go earlier.
It's your draft.
In mine, I would probably have him go there because that's that's a nice fit. It's a nice fit with Cam Ward to give him another weapon, take a little pressure off him. because he is a good catcher of the ball. He's an all-around great back. So if he were available, I would take Love. If he weren't, I probably would go Sonny Styles here.
This is your draft, dude. At your point, you can go as long as you can't take a guy twice.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
You can't do that shit.
No. Giants at 5 for you.
Yeah. So
yeah, this is where it gets fun.
Yeah. So they have 5 and 10. Am I correct in that?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So there's a couple interesting ways they can go here. Oh, shit. All right. I'm going to need a second here.
Go ahead, Bum.
So I love Caleb Downs. He's been effective everywhere he's been. He was the leading tackler on a team when he was with Alabama. Like, he's a really great player.
As a freshman.
As a freaking freshman at Alabama with Nick Saban. Like, that says a lot. Changes teams, comes to Ohio State. You know, obviously new system, thrives, an absolute stud, comes again with a new defensive coordinator, and they use him all over the field. He's a hard guy not to like. A lot of talent around him this year, which I think ends up taking some of the spotlight off him, but most people recognize him as that good. The other kid I like is the guard from Penn State. Now, maybe at this spot at number 5, they're thinking we can wait till 10 and maybe pick him up there, or even if they think later down the line. I'm just trying to think like the Giants as opposed to what I'm thinking for them.
Sure.
You know, they need to solidify the line behind the quarterback because you want to protect him, give him time. The other thing I don't hate here, I don't hate this at all, is the idea of like Carnell Tate to give another weapon on the outside. Then you could have Neighbors and Tate, 2 young guys, young quarterback,
young running back
with an ascending offensive line. So, what am I going to do here?
Bing, bing, bing. What's the sound they make?
I'm going to go with Carnell Tate.
Oh,
I'm going to go with Carnell Tate.
All right, so you hit mine right out of the gate. You got to remember who's in charge there now. John Harbaugh, who loves a safety play.
Yep.
And I don't think he's going to risk taking him at 10, so he's going to take him now. Caleb Downs at 5 to the Giants.
I just think that's really wild. A safety going at number 5. That's and I'm of the opinion if you like a guy, you take the guy.
No doubt.
Like, what difference does it friggin' make? You know what I mean? Like,
and I think he's earned the right to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with the player. I just, you know, a safety, but they need a safety. So,
well, yeah, and you know what's funny too? Like we always talk about when our week review and preview, like, man, these teams that have good safety seem like they're so much better, but nobody wants to pay for one. Draft too high. But if you got one, it's like it changed your whole defense. It's like it's funny.
There's no question about it. It is a very strange thing, right? Like
it is. It's
you're 100% correct about that. It's just hard because you know what it is when you're picking in a top 10, we'll say really it's more like the top 8, but let's just call it top 10. You want like home runs. You know what I mean? You're thinking home run, and I just don't think anybody looks at a safety, middle linebacker. Meanwhile, we got one of each in a top 10 here.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody looks at safety as a home run, although you make a great point. You know, one of the picks that we got right a few years ago, whatever it was, the safety out of Notre Dame that went to Baltimore, and he's been a monster. He's been an absolute monster for them. So, and that was the head coach. So yeah, it makes total sense that it would be Caleb Downs there. All right, do you have mine written down?
I do.
Okay. I have for me. Am I making? If I do I have this correct? I have Mendoza, Bailey, Love,
Reese, Tate.
Reese and Tate.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Those are all off the board. Okay. Who's
the Cleveland Browns at 6?
Is this you first?
This is me. I'm gonna go offensive tackle from Utah, Spencer Fanu.
Love it. I love it.
They've had some guys retire on the offensive side of the ball on the line the last couple of years. Their defense is in really fantastic shape. If they figure out the quarterback and they figure out the coach and a lot of shit on the offensive side, I think this guy's a plug-and-play guy right away. Those Utah fucking Samoans, bro. I think it's a good fit here at 6.
Yeah. I'm going with the same idea, but a different player.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm going to say his name right. Francis Mauigoa.
I like it.
Close enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Made a real name for himself. Like he was a great player all year, don't get me wrong, but really made a name for himself in the playoffs this year. It had a lot to do, protecting Carson Beck and obviously in the playoffs, you're playing against the best that there is in the country, and he really showed out. So I like him a lot. And I just think, yeah, you're going to, whether it's, who knows who their quarterback is going to be this year. It really, actually, to me, it's leaning towards Watson.
It's going to be Watson.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
look, and the reality is, if all these guys are playing even anywhere near their best, Watson's heads and tails above all of them, like above anybody they have there. Yeah. So as crazy as that sounds, it's not that crazy. So, I mean, I hear people talking about Shedeur, like, oh, it's his job to lose. He had 9 touchdowns and 11 interceptions last year. What do you mean it's his job to lose? As bad as Watson played before he got hurt, he's still better than that. Really, it's not even close. So, but either way, no matter who it is, you're going to want to upgrade the protection, because both of those guys last year, whether it was Shedeur or Gabriel, got beat up. So they need to solidify that.
You're up, sir. 7 Washington Commanders.
Yeah. Trying to think who's available here. All right, off. Okay. I'm gonna go, because this is a bad defensive team, and the best way to become a better defensive team is to get after the other team's quarterback. I'm gonna go Ruben Bain Jr. out of Miami. I just think he impressed me a lot also during the playoffs. Listen, a lot of Miami players impressed me during the playoffs. There's a reason, because people didn't even think they should be there, and then they end up getting to the Natty. So, good for them showing out like that. But he impressed me all season, got after it a lot. Excellent. By the way, not the biggest guy in the world, but plays both the pass and the run. Like, he can get after quarterbacks, and he's good against the run also. So he's a full-time player, not just a pass rusher specialist like some of the other guys that are in this draft that even went ahead of him. And this is a funny one, because I'm looking at PFF. They have Ruben Bain Jr. Ranked, not that he's going to go ahead, but I have him ranked against ahead of David Bailey by 1. So, and that's just because he's a more all-around player as opposed to Bailey's kind of a pure pass rusher.
Gotcha. I'm going same position. I'm going Orville Reese, edge from Ohio State.
Okay, because you haven't gone with him.
Change the whole defense. Redskin Commanders bad.
By the way,
same thing. Yeah.
If Reese falls to them in this draft, like it ends up being a steal. Now, again,
no doubt,
this Orville Reese is more of a projection pick. People look at him and they see the speed, and they're projecting what they think he's going to be capable of. When you start throwing out names like Micah Parsons, you're really you're really setting a guy up. But if he falls to them, I mean, there was, as we've done this so far, we even talked about him potentially going second to the Jets. If he falls to 7, is that where we're at right now? We're at 7 in Washington. Yep. That would be just an absolute steal for them. An absolute steal.
You know what else could happen too? People might be falling all over themselves to fucking trade up.
Well, you make a great point. And if you're Washington, you might consider it, because they have a lot of holes.
They need bodies. Right.
Yeah. So, who all right, so let's just stop for a second and pause. Who could you see moving up to 7 to do that?
Dallas.
Definitely. But the only thing I'll say, they're not going to want to give up both of their first-round picks. They have 2 first-round picks. I don't think they want to give them both.
Baltimore.
I don't know if they have the firepower to do it.
They might not, but I'm giving you.
Yeah.
Who at the back end?
Does Buffalo have any kind of juice to do something like that? Or are they just too far?
I don't think they got enough. I don't think they have enough firepower either.
Probably too far.
Broncos are set at rush. Seattle's set. It's so funny.
No, they got Micah Parsons. You don't need a Micah Parsons clone.
How about Minnesota?
Where are they picking?
Well, they drafted Dallas Turner like 2 years ago, so I don't know if he's coming into his own there. Houston set. Pittsburgh, no way.
I see Kansas City making a move here.
Yeah, to get up 2 spots. They won't have to give up that much. Yeah, it's probably good. Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah, I could see it.
Okay. All right, what's the next one?
I know I'm up at 8 with the New Orleans Saints. Another team that can go a lot of different directions here. They showed some signs of life at the end of the year, but I think they lost their top 2 corners. So I'm gonna go in their backyard, cornerback Mansur Delane from LSU.
Okay, I'm thinking. Hold on.
I know where you're gonna go, and I'll be honest with you if it's not.
So I could see them going. Running back, not running back, wide receiver.
That's where I thought you were gonna go.
But I'm gonna.
However,
it's still a weapon, and I like him a lot. I'm probably gonna be wrong, but that's okay. This is what I would do, not what I think New Orleans is gonna do. Okay,
go ahead.
I like this kid Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon. Here's why. Also,
am I writing it down?
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm going with Sadiq. Again, this is me. If I were New Orleans, I would take this kid. For as long as I've been alive, they always tell you that the best friend of a young quarterback is a good tight end. And this kid is a really good tight end. 6'3", 245, can run, excellent hands. I like him a lot. So I like that better than a second. Another, because who did they got there as wide receiver? What's his name?
Olave, who's always hurt.
Chris Olave. Yeah, he's hurt a lot. I know, but you could take some pressure off him with a tight end. So yeah, I like this kid a lot. All right, he's a 14th. Nice. PFF has him ranked as the 14th best player. So I guess you can say this is a bit of a reach, but. Look, the reality is they've been relatively decent on defensive side the last couple of years. They're getting old on the defensive side, so they could use some help there. So it wouldn't shock me if they went defense. But they may have stumbled into their quarterback without a lot of people realizing it. And if that's true, then you want to surround him with some talent. So that's why I would go here. I think this kid has a lot of special skills.
9 to the Chiefs for you.
Chiefs. Okay. This boggles my mind. What is this number 9?
9.
9.
9.
Everything I hear with mock drafts, it has them maybe getting a D end or a defensive back, maybe a corner or a wide receiver. And I still don't understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they just really haven't addressed the offensive line issues that they've had.
I can't correct you if you're right.
But see, okay, let me just. All right, I'm going to give you 2 names. So I don't even know how to spell this kid. The guard from Penn State. Oliva Vega.
Vega Ione or whatever.
Ione. Yeah.
Ione.
Or hold, please.
Holding.
All right, so he's gone. Or
you still got Fano on the table.
I know. That's what I'm looking at. See, the problem is they drafted a tackle last year. He just sucked. But are you going to give up on him that?
Yeah, I know.
You give up on him that quickly?
Listen, the thing with tackles, have you learned with Becton? You can move them around, dude. You can put him a guard. It's not like it's a total waste.
He's not, 6'6", 308.
No, I mean the guy that drafted last year. They could move him if they wanted to. Yeah, the kid from Ohio State, right? Was it? Paris Johnson.
Didn't do well at all. Damn. Okay, you have to make a choice. At this point, I take tackles over guards. So give me Spencer Fano. Is that his name?
Yeah, sure.
Why not? You can say it that way.
From Utah.
Okay.
All right. So
I know that's not going to be the pick either. Well, I don't know that. I should take that back. I don't know that because all these talking heads, they don't know what the hell they're talking about anyway.
Correct. So I'm going to go with one of the positions you talked about because I really think they've had zero star power here for a little while, and they've kind of whiffed on some spots. And if this guy's there, I think they'll jump at it. Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Now, for me, he's off the board already.
Yep, I get it.
But for you, and I love it here because they just are lacking weapons, and even the weapons they have, you just don't know if they're going to show up.
Well, one guy's in jail, one guy's hurt, like one guy's. It's a rough. I don't know, suspended. I don't know what's going on.
A rough list.
Number 10, the New York Giants with their second pick. I'm staying in the same family, and I don't know if it's smoke screen city here, and it's maybe a little bit of a risky pick because he's got a little bit of an injury history. Wide receiver, Jordan Tyson, Arizona State. So they got one stud on defense, one stud on offense to go. Kind of like what you said before, where you took Carnell Tate in that spot. I'm going to go wide receiver there in this spot. So they go one spot.
Who did you have the Giants taken previously?
Downs.
Okay, so what's funny is my draft has shaken out that Downs is still available, which I gotta be honest with you, probably not gonna happen. Although I don't know that.
But like you said, we don't know shit.
I'll tell you what, if I'm right and this is how things shake out, there is no friggin' way I'm letting Caleb Downs go by now.
No.
So at number 10 to the New York Giants, I'll take Caleb Downs for sure. By the way, if either of us are right, because it's the same thing in reverse, what a first day for John Harbaugh and the New York Giants. Like, just 2 home runs, just monsters. So, and how about Ohio State being just like well represented here?
And they didn't make the championship game.
Unbelievable. So, okay.
All right, buddy. Miami Dolphins to you at 11.
Okay. I'm gonna say this one's pretty quick. I'm gonna go LSU cornerback Mansour Delane. They need help everywhere. Why not? Probably let me see. I'm going to say the best player left on the board right now. Yes, gone. Yep. So for PFF's rankings, Delane is the top corner, and he's the top guy left on the board. So I think it's a nice pick right here for them.
I will go with offensive tackle Francis Mayoga, what you had?
Yep, you got it.
From right in his backyard, the Miami Hurricanes.
That's always nice.
Like you said, they need a lot of bodies. I think putting a big guy out there.
You can't go wrong.
To protect Malik Willis is probably not a bad idea.
They're definitely in a position where just draft the best player you could. Look, they got rid of everybody. They basically got rid of everybody. Anybody that had any value, they got picks for, or they cut, or whatever. So you can't go wrong. And either one of those picks would be fantastic for them. Who's next?
The Dallas Cowboys at 12. I have them selecting pass rusher Ruben Bain Jr. It's position of need. Him and Rashawn Gary, I think, could cause some problems with their 2 defensive tackles. They flipped the defense in 1 year. Pretty good there.
Is this their first pick?
Pretty good. Yeah.
They have 2 in first round, right?
They do.
I don't think so. And he's gone for me. So I'm going to go, because I don't think I'm going there. I like Jordan Tyson, but he gets injured a lot. But 6'2", 200, I don't hate it. He's not the most explosive, but he's got some nice size. I'm going to go with Makai Lemon out of USC. He's not the biggest in the world, but pretty tough. And he's an inside the numbers guy, so that's he's kind of a slot, which would free up. Look, I think there's going to be some issues. Who's the dude that they just tagged?
So I was just going to ask you that. George Pickens. You think they trade him?
I think there's a lot of unsettledness there. So if they can clean that up by picking up a receiver. Oh, by the way, it's a receiver. Mekhi Lemon is not the same position that he is or that CeeDee Lamb is. So you're definitely drafting a different type of receiver, which fits. You know what I'm saying? So that would be a good. And then you could move on. You know, from if you wanted to, if they were thinking replace.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What am I saying?
Pickens.
If you're thinking of replacing Pickens, then the guy is Jordan Tyson because he's a bigger target, 6'2", 200, bigger dude. He's not terribly fast. He's not the fastest guy in the world. But I like speed. And I think Dallas always likes speed. So I think Mekhi Lemon is a better prospect there for them.
13 Rams to you, sir.
Oh, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were not the best against the run last year. Were they decent?
Not great.
Isn't that why they had some problems against Carolina both times?
Seattle.
All
the time.
Oh. All right, I need a second here. You know, the other thing with them is receivers are aging a little bit. What's his face?
Adams.
Devontae Adams is aging a little bit. Jordan Tyson would fit very well in replacing for him. Jordan Tyson just funny, man, because he also got hurt a lot. Had a hard time staying on the field.
You're gonna do it. Just pull the trigger. You're gonna do
it. I'm looking for. I could see them trading out of this spot if I'm being honest with you, because what I like is just they can move back and get what they want. What are we picking on here? 13?
13.
All right, wild card time. You ready?
Oh boy. Hold on to your niblets.
Since we're not trading out, we can't do that. We're not doing that, and I don't want to. Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver, Indiana. Kind of bigger body, physical receiver, 204 pounds, not exactly slim. Big, strong frame. Devontae Adams-like.
In what world would I have told you that Indiana is going to have two fucking players in the top 13 in the draft?
Crazy, right?
In a football draft.
Well, before last season.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Shit, yeah. Crazy.
13 for me. I'm going to go same position, different player. You just took him a pick earlier. I'm going Mekhi Lemon there. Same thing. I think Adams is getting a little up there, and I think Nakua is a little nutty. I think there's something going on there with him.
Hard
to
be trusted, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's hurt a lot too, so I think they want to get it. And with McVay, dude, this got to be fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
At 14 to the Ravens. You know, it's going to be curious to see if Jesse Minter, you know, picks up right where the Ravens leave off with drafting guys and taking steals. I'm going to go the other end of that Miami duo, and I'm going to go edge rusher Akeem Mesidor. The Ravens need a pass rusher, and I think this guy falls in their lap there. Very productive player.
Hold on now. Baltimore, right, you said?
Holding.
All right. Well, hold on. I like that one too. A lot of wide receiver talk here for them, but defensive coach, defensive town, defensive feel. I'm gonna go CJ Allen out of Georgia. Linebacker, strong run defense, length limitations, but he flashes enough in coverage to project as a starter. This is from PFF. 21 years old, 6'1", 235. So, there's some speed there. Not the biggest guy in the world, more of speed. I think that fits Baltimore perfectly.
15 to the Buccaneers to you.
Okay. So let me go here. Tampa. Plus, I'm thinking who's left. No. He just went. Did I take Mesidor off the board?
No,
but I don't like that one. A lot of end action for them.
By the way, I know your method to your madness here. I just figured it out, and I'll tell you in a little while. I just figured something out.
I'd love to know what it is. It's pure madness.
You snaky son of a bitch.
I would prefer them to go something on the offensive line. But I don't know at this point in the draft that's – hold on. All right, so I'm going to give you two names. Let me give you one name here. Keldrick Falk, end from Auburn. Okay. But that's not my pick yet. Let me just look at positions now and go to tackle. Let's see who's still on the board here. Gone. Okay. Oh, man, shit. I love this kid. Monroe Freeling from Georgia. Super athletic. A little, what's the word? Unrefined. Mm-hmm. He's not quite ready yet, but I don't know that they would need him to start right away. But even if he did, he's just so damn athletic. Do go defense or offense? Defense or offense? I feel like by the end of the season last year, Baker was starting to take a beating. Don't you feel like that was happening?
Yeah, he was also he got banged up and then they kind of went in the tank. Evans was banged up. By the way, Obuka fell off the planet when Baker got hurt.
And he got banged up a little too. All right. Then that settles it for me. You gotta protect your quarterback. I'm gonna go Monroe Freeling, Georgia.
Big kid, man.
Yeah, and super, if as far as athletic tackles go, he's the most athletic. He's just not refined. He's not finished product yet. He's probably not ready to start right away.
So I'm going to go with same mindset, but I'm going to go with Penn State guard Vega Ione.
All right.
They need to protect him and get a little run game going. And at 16, the New York Jets with their second pick, wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr., Indiana.
I hear a lot of people saying that one too. And by the way, as a former Jets fan, I wouldn't be upset with that one. I wouldn't be upset with that one.
And you're going fucking Jordan Tyson here. I know you are.
I don't think I'm gonna.
Wow.
Well, I can't take Cooper because I already took him.
You can't take Cooper. You can't take Lamone. Tate. You're going Jordan Tyson. Come on. And by the way, enough with this former Jet fan shit.
I'm completely former. Can't take Lemon. Can't take Tate. I don't like the way my draft has worked out for the 16 pick.
You go Mesidor here?
No. This is a stretch. By the way, if it were me making the pick, shit.
Ooh, got some Gators.
Fuck. All right, I think I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. This is not gonna happen, but this is what I would do. Because I just love the size. And because what's the kid that's there now from Ohio State? Wide receiver?
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson's undersized. Give me Denzel Boston from Washington Huskies.
Ooh.
It's a bit of a stretch. PFF has him ranked as 31, but he's very smooth. Big kid, 6'4", 209.
Yeah, leave it to the Jets so to take a reach like that for sure.
I would like it though. I like him a lot. Great body control. I think there's a lot there to like.
I want to take this.
The question is, are the Jets going to take Ty Simpson there? I don't think they're going to.
I don't think so either.
And if you want, we can talk a little bit about what some teams might do as the draft unwinds after we do this mock. So we can talk about that. Who do you have the Jets taking?
I just did mine. I love that you listened to me.
Oh, you have them taking Omar Cooper?
Omar Cooper Jr.
Okay. Well, that wraps it up.
That's it, folks. So
then we can talk about a couple teams right now, why don't we?
Oh, it's good.
I think some guys that are interesting, and again, we kind of touched on this a little bit last week. The quarterbacks to me are really interesting because there are Ty Simpson isn't even one of the guys preseason that would have been talked about in the first round. And now the question is, does he go first round or does he get pushed off? But what I think is so much more interesting are some of the guys that were thought of as first round picks preseason, that where do they end up going late? And one of the guys that I think is the most interesting is the kid out of Penn State, Drew Aller. And the only reason I say that there's flaws, there's things not to like. He's not a particularly good thrower on the run, even though he is actually pretty athletic.
Yeah.
So it's a very odd combination. Usually it's the guys, like a Tom Brady or I'm thinking of the guy who won the quarterback who won a Super Bowl, Joe Flacco. Like you would think those guys on the run, but the funny thing is both of those actually throw pretty well on the run, even though they're kind of non-athletes, what we don't think of as like athletic quarterbacks. So Drew Aller, to me, his problem is he throws poorly on the run. But I'm going to pull him up just by position here, quarterbacks. So we're talking 6'5", 235.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, with a big-time arm, throws a beautiful ball, no accuracy issues from the pocket.
So here's my issue too with him. He doesn't win big games. And I don't know if that had to do with Franklin too.
Okay, so I was just going to ask you that. I was just going to ask you, is that a Drew Aller thing or is that a Franklin being kind of a pussy, which is what we've always pointed out for years, that he always put the governor on their offense and didn't let them kind of let her rip. That's a question. Look, whether it's Drew Aller, Carson Beck, Garrett Nussmeier, the Klubnik, there's issues with all of them, right? That's why they're not going to go first round. And to be fair, most of them, they did it to themselves.
Yeah.
They just didn't have great years. Nussmeier was banged up for most of the season.
Klubnik was terrible. Like he's one that I just have no interest in whatsoever. I just saw too many passes from him that were like open receiver and you just miss from the pocket. I'm with you.
I didn't really see it from Nussmeier. I didn't see it from Aller, and I didn't see that from Carson Beck. So, what do we always say? Like, you got to make your layup. And I didn't see that from Ty Simpson for sure. Like, Ty Simpson, to me, his accuracy to me is on the same level as Fernando Mendoza. Like, his ball placement was phenomenal. Things got bad at the end of the season because they had injuries on the offensive line. They couldn't protect for shit. And he had, problems with that because he's also, kind of undersized, in my opinion. But I just think Drew Aller is a very interesting case. And I don't think he should go to a team that, needs him, that would want a quarterback that's going to step in and play right away. In fact, it would be like, I'm trying to think of where it would be a good spot for him. Like Dallas would be actually a good spot, or the Rams would be a really great spot.
Lions
learn behind Matt Stafford. Lions would be a really great spot. Some place that has an older quarterback, not old, like done soon, but an older quarterback that you might, as an organization, be thinking, we don't necessarily want to pay him on the next contract. And that's why I bring up Dak. Do you want to pay Dak 65, 70 million on his next contract?
Yeah, I know.
So maybe you draft a Drew Aller in the third round and you let him just sit there, and 2 years from now, you're grooming him to be your starter. Complete possibility. Maybe there's other spots that are similar like that. That's to me what would have to be the fit. Not for anything, it might be a good fit for him to go to Pittsburgh. If they're not high.
How about
on Will Howard.
Cincinnati?
Yeah, I mean that would, for me, if you were to go to Cincinnati, that would be an insurance policy, right? Because if you have any kind of questions about, does Joe Burrow want to stay there? What if Joe Burrow gets hurt again and misses substantial time? Do you want to then pay him $60 million moving forward? I don't know how many years he has left on his contract. Probably 2, if I'm
at least 2, maybe 3.
Maybe 3. So, if you're thinking insurance policy, something like that, maybe. This is going to sound crazy, but if you're Baltimore, you might want to think about that, because you look at Lamar. Lamar has made it pretty darn clear he's not happy with some things that have gone on and can't win playoff games. Do you want to pay him $70 million 2 years from now? Because that's about what it's going to be 2 years from now. You're going to have to make a decision at the end of this coming season. Do you want to move forward with Lamar Jackson?
Right.
So this is what's interesting. And the nice thing for these GMs with some of these guys, and I could use Carson Beck similarly, 6'4", 220, big kid. I didn't realize he's as big as he is. I had mentioned last week Taylon Green. Taylon Green, if you want to keep your same system in Baltimore, Taylon Green, 6'6", 235, super athletic, cannon for an arm, wildly unrefined. But if he sat there for 2 years, learning from Lamar Jackson, it could be interesting. And you could probably get him, like 5th round. So that's what's so fascinating to me. And I'm intrigued to see, it really, if you're just interested in quarterbacks as sexy positions, the interesting thing to see is, when does Ty Simpson go, and what dominoes does that cause to fall?
Yeah.
So I just don't know that anybody's looking outside of Fernando Mendoza. I don't know that teams are going to be looking for a starter from the guys that are left.
Yeah, because I think teams don't want to make that, like, trade up. I know you get that 5th year. If you trade up to like 27, right, 28, 29.
I hear the possibility of Arizona doing that. Arizona trading up, say, into Seattle spot or Denver spot.
Denver doesn't have a spot. Denver traded their pick already.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying? Like something late, New England, something late where it's not going to cost you much, and you move ahead of the Jets.
So that's funny you bring up New England. How distracted is that organization? Like, are they going to trade for A.J. Brown? Like, what do they need in the draft? What do you think? Why do
that whole situation in particular is kind of weird to me, like that you kind of already know, even though didn't they just pick up a wide receiver? They just got
Dobbs. Romeo Dobbs.
Right. So
who's not exactly AJ Brown, but like,
and I just wonder, do you have the compensation already worked out? Like, do you have that figured out? I don't know. Look, I think I'm in the minority here, but I'm going to say what I've saw this past season. I'd be very, very careful.
Me too.
About making a move for AJ Brown. Less about his attitude and more about I am of the belief that he may have lost a step. I pointed this out a number of times, and I stand by it. At least through the first 9 or 10 games, he had as many targets as he had the previous season. So it's not that they weren't throwing to him. He just wasn't as open as he was in the previous season. And I just wonder, coming off the Super Bowl, it's a longer season, a number of playoff seasons. Now they're on you. He wasn't open as much. Right. And it doesn't take much in the NFL. If you lose a step, like, you remember, who was that wide receiver from Atlanta?
Julio Jones?
Julio Jones was an unstoppable machine. He lost the slightest step and was finished.
Yeah.
And we see this all the time with wide receivers. They lose a step and it's over. It's amazing how quickly it happens. So that's my fear. The whole, be careful. Are you really sure? And, New England, the one thing I'll say about them is they do their homework. So if they think he's ready to go, if they think he's still the guy, I'll believe them. I'm just saying what I see, and I'll stand by it, is that I think A.J. Brown lost a step. Now, what do you often get in a situation like this? If they were to pull off the trade, we've seen this with Stephon Diggs. Like, you go to a new team, you're going to bust your hump and be ready. So can you get one season out of AJ Brown? One
Right.
really great season. I mean, that's why you're taking him. You would make that move because you think he's still great.
And you're close.
And you're close. But I just think if you're expecting to get more than one great season out of him, I just don't know that it's there. I genuinely don't know that the speed is still there. He's still big, still could be used in goal line situations. He can box out corners and safeties and stuff like that. So I'm not saying he's going to be totally useless. I just have concerns of whether or not he's still a true number one, 110 catches kind of guy. 110 catches, 16, 17 touchdowns. I just don't know. I'll go a little further and say I wouldn't. Right. If that's what I need, I probably wouldn't.
I hear you.
I'd rather look. You got a really young, great-looking quarterback. You got some nice offensive line pieces, and a really good-looking defense. Go get wide receivers in the draft that can grow with Drake May. So that's the direction I would go.
Man, you have Drew Aller on the brain. Oh my God.
I know, yeah. What's funny is that's the guy that they compare him to, right? They compare him to Drake May, like big, strong, athletic. Drake May throws a bazillion times better on the run than Drew Aller. It's a very interesting thing to me. I know I keep harping on that one particular thing. Look, the reality is in the NFL, you have to throw off platform from time to time. And I will say this, with some coaching, I think that's he's generally an accurate thrower. So I have to believe with some coaching, he could fix that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So there's things I look at and that concern me. Like I always used to say about, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm like drawing a blank on names Collar? Today. No, the quarterback from Ohio State who went to the Bears, then to the Steelers, and
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. I knew from day one. I said, dude, if you can't throw the 5-yard out and hit that 10 out of 10 times, then we got a problem. And it's always been a problem. His accuracy has always been a problem. So accuracy in general is not a problem with Aller, but on the run, it's an interesting thing. But we'll see if they can work on that. I am always found, obviously, quarterbacks is a sexy position. I'm always interested to see where they go and if it's a good fit. So that's one of the things, obviously I'll be paying attention to.
RBC Heritage last weekend in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Matty Fitzpatrick wins in a playoff.
Second time he's won that tournament.
Tried his best to give it away. Scotty Scheffler up his ass, finished second. Again, they'll do with the bad Thursday
slow
Friday.
Starts. Yeah, slow starts.
It's really, dude, we're into May now almost, and he's been on a pattern here.
Yeah, now I'm not going to do this for every week, but I'll give him a little bit of a break this week coming off the Masters. It's got to be, mentally challenging. Plus, he was up there, So I'll give him a little bit of a break. But to your point, it's becoming a pattern. It's not the first time. In fact, he kind of did it at the Masters. So got off to a little bit of a slow start. So, and there's been other tournaments. So look, he still ends up right at the end. He's on the leaderboard. He's right there. He's just not as consistent day in, day out as he's been in past seasons.
Right.
Newborn child might have a little something to do with that.
It's fair.
Attest to the challenges that goes on there. But hey, this is the job, dude. This is what you do. You're the number one player in the world. We expect to see the number one player in the world. It was for a week after Masters. It was a pretty good leaderboard though. Guys were playing pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. A little trivia. Get out of here, sir.
I think that's a good idea. Why not?
All right, buddy. Who is first all time in passing touchdowns at Penn State?
First all time passing touchdowns, Penn State.
Drew
I'm thinking Kerry Collins right off the top is my thought.
Trace McSorley, Sean Clifford, Christian Hackenberg, Kerry Collins.
And not Kerry Collins. All right, give me those names again.
Drew Aller, Trace McSorley, Sean Clifford, Christian Hackenberg.
Now, McSorley was a starter for like 3 years, wasn't he?
Might have been 4.
Might have been 4.
Or 3 and a hook, 3.5, 3.
Hackenberg is an interesting one because he was probably the number one quarterback recruit that year, like when he came out of high school.
Yeah.
Bit of a disappointment.
Fair.
Both in college and obviously he didn't do anything as a pro. So I'm going to go with McSorley.
You would be incorrect. He's second, sir.
Who's first?
Sean Clifford at 86 career touchdown passes.
How many McSorley have?
I don't know. I just have put second.
All right.
Aller was third. Hackenberg was fourth.
Damn.
Matt McGloin, I think, was fifth. So you're Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins wasn't even on the list.
Peter, who is first all time in passing touchdowns at the University of Houston?
Holy shit.
Kevin Cobb.
Okay.
Case Keenum.
That's who I was leaning
Andre Ware.
Andre Ware.
David Klingler.
Klingler. Wow, they had some real slingers over there,
That's
man.
why I put him on the list, because I'm like, you know all four names, so we can play with this one.
So, when Shedeur was coming out last year in the draft, there was a list that went out there of the all-time most productive quarterbacks. And I think they were all like second-rate guys, but I think there was like two guys from Houston on that. I think one of them was Case Keenum. So I'm going to go with Case Keenum.
Peter, you'd be correct, and it wasn't even close.
Correct?
He held the record for touchdown passes in a career for college football for a couple of years, I think.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
So good call on that one, brother.
And by the way, I know we always look for superstars. That's the only scale that we have for good career. But Case Keenum has had a very good, productive, and profitable NFL career. Mostly as a backup. I get that. But there's nothing wrong with that, as Chase Daniels can attest.
Oh, my God. Kerry,
I don't even know how. 15 years in the league, Chase Daniels. And I don't know that he played in 15 games. That's a job.
At least from September to November.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Real games. I mean, just played, not started. He definitely didn't start 15 games. I don't know that he even got in 15 games.
All right, brother. Last one. Who is first all time in passing touchdowns at Auburn? Pat Sullivan, Jason Campbell, Bo Nix, Damian Craig.
Wow, this one's harder.
That's what she said.
Now, Bo Nix was a starter there for 3 years?
Yes, sir.
What were the names again?
Jason Campbell, Pat Sullivan, Bo Nix, Damian
Jason
Craig.
Campbell threw a lot.
One of my favorite players in college back in the day.
See, now Bo Nix was a little bit of a disappointment at Auburn too. He wasn't as productive as they were hoping he was going to be. I'm gonna go Jason Campbell.
Jason Campbell was second, sir.
Damn it! Was it Bo Nix?
It was Pat Sullivan.
Oh no shit. Okay.
And here's what Auburn's had to quote. Auburn's kind of like Michigan. Not great quarterback play, touchdowns, 53 career touchdown passes. That's it for Pat Sullivan.
That's it.
Because Camp played 1 year.
Of a running, physical defense, running school.
Bo Nix was fifth. Damian Craig was sixth. I think Bo Nix's father was in the top 10 too. I think it's some.
You know what's so interesting about Auburn is that they have a number of national titles, but yet they're not like a national power.
They're not like a blue blood, right? Like you wouldn't. Yeah.
It's very interesting like that. Like they've had times, but then a lot of the other time they're just kind of okay. It's weird. Like we think of the Iron Bowl to Auburn, Alabama as a rivalry. Is it really? It's probably dominated by Alabama. I know they're in-state rival, but just Auburn's an interesting program.
Yeah.
We think of them as a big-time program, but they're often just kind of okay. And then they have periods or specific times when they're elite. I'm trying to think of another program that's similar to that.
It's kind of like 2 times in a decade they'll come out of the woods, and then
almost once a decade. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else is like that. I can't think of anybody else who's quite like
Washington.
That. Yeah, I guess they're like that as far as being a national contender. They're always pretty good. They're always, especially, at least when they were in the Pac-10.
Pac-12. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, Auburn, because I think of them as a power college football program, but they're kind of not. But they have natties.
I got one. It might change now though with the new rules. A&M.
Yeah, but they don't have natties.
Yeah, true.
But where I'll agree with you, they're a power. They're certainly a power team now.
Yeah.
They don't have national titles.
No.
Like they're a better program than Auburn, but Auburn has more national championships.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's weird. It's a very weird thing. And we think of them as like national title contenders.
I love the fact that A&M and plays Texas Thanksgiving weekend again. That fucking makes me so happy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a good thing. That's a good
thing.
What are we watching this weekend besides the draft?
Draft for me up until Saturday, maybe some baseball. It's not a great golf tournament this weekend.
No, Zurich Open.
It's the Zurich with the pairs they play with as teams.
Yeah.
I don't love that. So
yep,
maybe get some shit done around the house and catch up with some work. Who knows?
We'll see maybe some baseball. The Mets finally broke the Mamdani curse after 12 straight. Was it 12 straight losses?
Yes, sir.
So they got off the schneid. The Twins will do that. So for Scott Bracey, I'm Pete Colasano. You've been listening to Bump and Run. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Enjoy the draft. Later.
All right. We're looking good.
Hour 5. Beautiful.
Yeah. I'll get this out as soon as I possibly can.
Next week looks like Wednesday for me.
Wednesday? It should be fine. Because she'll be done with her play.
Okay.
This weekend. And what time?